There is no supposed to anymore, okay? We're free. For example, I'm about to fart right now.
Oh, wow.
This is the sound of freedom.
Oh, whoa.
Yup.
Sound of freedom.
Oh, no.
Woof. Dirterotic.com.
Animal Farm Review, a made-for-kids movie that completely betrays its source material. And this is coming from...
Screen Rant.
Screen Rant.
Wow. That's
Screen
a shock.
Rant.
Surprising.
Yeah. That is a shock.
So the controversy is, because I haven't seen it yet, I plan to, but I haven't seen it yet, that people were paid to give reviews, and they have been posting them on X and then deleting them.
It's not exactly that they were given reviews. They are just marketing advertisements. The issue is that a lot of the people, like Tucker, like Wall Street Mav, like Redheaded Libertarian, although she hadn't seen it and did at least say she hadn't seen it, they were going, this is a really great representation of the book. It shows that this is the movie that Hollywood couldn't make. It truly shows how communism will always fail. And that's not what the movie is.
No.
And so they clearly hadn't watched it, despite pretending that they had. I can get the timestamp of Tucker's video where he does the ad read if you want. But he says things like, this is a great thing to take your kids to, because Orwell's novel is great. And a lot of the reviews, they were essentially reviewing, a lot of the recommendations were recommending the book, but as if that's what the movie was.
The craziness of it being like in the same Animal Farm promo and Black Rifle Coffee is just
Yes.
ironic.
That's everything, I guess.
Poignant.
Very
And look,
poignant.
one of the challenges in the space that we're in, as much as people want to talk about alternative media and, getting away from the mainstream and stuff like that, a lot of the problems with the mainstream, as the mainstream has lost relevancy, a lot of those problems have translated into our influencer space. And I'm not saying we're on the same level as Tucker Carlson. I never would say that. But I'm just saying in general, the idea of someone who is viewed as an independent media source, and all of a sudden, the same exact things that we saw being a problem with legacy media start become a problem here. We get offers sometimes for things like this, right? For things exactly like this, for you to just give a fucking good review for something and they'll pay you a bunch of money, whether it's from an Angel Studios, whether it's from another fucking place. It happens, right? And it's kind of important that people trust you. So for everyone who likes to say legacy media is dead, it's all about the fucking independent content creator now, we have the same problems with independent content creators being paid off by a lot of different things that we did with mainstream media sources before.
Yeah, so this was a paid advertisement, and apparently some people were offered money to read the ad, essentially, or post the ad. That would be my guess.
Tim Pool said he got offered over 5 figures. These are a significant amount of money.
This has to do with principles, because yes, this is the same problem because it's the same source, money. People like money, weirdly enough. And so if somebody comes to you and goes, hey, I'll give you $100,000 to sell out your principles, a lot of people will take that. And the problem now is we've had a counterculture that's built themselves up on not being that. I mean, the most egregious part of this isn't that they're ads, because we all understand ads. We do ads ourselves on occasions, etc. That's fine. Advertisement. But they've built a entire online presence on being conservatives, on being against this stuff. And now they're trading that credibility in by saying, oh, this is totally anti-woke, when it is the opposite. It proves that they never knew what they were talking about or were always simply just being scammers. It destroys their credibility so much more deeply than simply an ad read.
And it's not just them, because Angel Studios is exactly the same thing. It's supposed to be values-based entertainment, Christian entertainment.
Right.
And so, like, if this was a random distributor, I wouldn't even be talking about the distributor because it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
it's only because they are betraying their values and their customers. And they keep saying, well, the Guild voted for it. What exactly did the Guild vote for? Did they watch this movie and recommend it, or did they just see we're making an Animal Farm adaptation and think that was a good idea? Because Animal Farm is exactly in line with Angel Studios, just not this version of it.
No, and they probably had no knowledge of that. That would be my guess, to give them an out. But it's not like the news wasn't out there for a long time what this film is. It's been in production for how long?
2011.
And Andy Serkis was giving interviews saying it was anti-capitalist since at least 2013.
Yeah.
And now one of the things on Angel's thing is that they say that they separate the art from the artist when they're doing recommendations for things. They don't say who's making the movie because they want to do that. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea anyway, but especially for a movie like this, where it is inherently political, you can't make a non-political Animal Farm. I do think it's important who's making it, because they will put themselves into the movie, and so you need somebody who aligns with what the movie was intended for. And so in this, if you find out well, I know Orwell was, but if you find out someone like Andy Serkis was making this movie, that does actually matter when you're saying, should the movie be made or not?
The risk reward factor for Angel on this is, I don't know why they did this. I don't know why they pulled the trigger. Maybe in the beginning they thought it was a proper Animal Farm adaptation. I haven't seen it. Well, I've seen Jeremy John's review. I will see it tomorrow. But just this doesn't seem like it was a smart move. I don't think they're going to get the reward for the risk. And, Black Rifle Coffee being brought up in that same tweet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so ironic.
I think they saw the names attached. It was a vaguely competently animated film, Andy Serkis. So they were like, "Oh, we could get some clout. We can get some recognition."
Seth Rogen, yeah.
The animation
this is rough. This is a woke Hollywood movie through and through, but it does things like, rather than showing the effects of communism, it says that actually the pigs weren't always evil. They were lured away by the concept of money. They were brought into debt by Elon Musk's mum. Like, literally, she drives a Cybertruck, and she exploits their ignorance in order to get them into debt so she can use, essentially, the traps of consumerism and capitalism to undermine their perfect utopian vision. There is no way that you can write this as it is. And Serkis said he didn't want to make the same movie that Orwell did. He wanted to make what Orwell would make today.
No,
and so he's
oh my God, Orwell would not do that.
He would not, no.
No.
But it is saying, I know what he would write. I can take over the spirit of his ghost.
It was very staunchly anti-communist. I mean, how can you say that now he would be anti-capitalist?
Well, I imagine they would argue that Orwell was once a socialist, because he was, but the civil war in Spain was what made him an anti-socialist in essence, where it's like, hold on, this doesn't work. All of these contradictions, I can now see all of the problems inherent within this.
Well, and they're trying to hijack the ending of the book. Now, with the controversy, they're trying to hijack it and say, well, Orwell wasn't talking about communism itself. He was talking about the USSR. And only the USSR, and that it wasn't done correctly as a means to connect the parallels, because the movie doesn't end the same way as the book at all. There's actually there is the ending of the book, and then we get a whole Act 3 after that.
It ends with a grand revolution. Like it ends as essentially the overthrow of capitalism. Like this is like a completely wild book. And when I made a video the other day, I said the only saving grace that Angel Studios hasn't attacked the fans, and now they've done that as well.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Oh, God. Really? This is really dumb. What do we got here? Andy Serkis, you got a man bun on, bro.
Andy Serkis. You were right about it. You were right.
I think it's basically cutting out the oxygen to his brain.
Am I now? I'm sorry.
You were right. You were right.
That's a moment right there.
It's going Asian face.
Some of the criticism that came out when the trailer dropped. I saw a lot of people saying things like Orwell is rolling in his grave, or that he would not approve of this. And you worked closely with the Orwell estate on this. Can you tell me a little bit about what your response is to seeing criticisms like that?
I absolutely love the fact that there was so much controversy.
Really?
Over the first trailer. Yeah, because that's exactly what Orwell would have wanted. He wants debate. We had millions and millions of hits about that first trailer, and for one, it's a trailer, so you kind of have to go, well, watch the film first, please, and then make your comments. But it really pricked people, and he's sort of adored and abhorred by both left and right, and that's the other thing about our film. We're not
that's a cop-out. It's like he may have had an issue with both sides, but this book was about one side. This is not your opportunity to attack the one that you really have a problem with anymore. It's your job to adapt the book.
And as we know from the Tolkien estate, the estates of these writers are not the writers.
Not always the best.
Yes. No.
Oh, well, actually, in the same article which this clip comes from, it says, you work really well with the estate. In the same article, it goes, well, the estate never really worked with him, never commented on it. They just said, stay with the book and adapt it properly. And then underneath it goes, we reached out to them and they refused comments. I'm like, I'm not surprised.
I wonder why. Wow.
administration or regime. It's about authoritarianism and our response to that, and power corrupting, absolutely. And so it's like,
that's not what the book's about.
No, it's like directly calling out Stalin and Trotsky.
The book has the book is not about power or authority. Actually, the English don't have the same relationship with authority positions as Americans do. Like in this, it's the pigs which subvert everything else. They start evil. It's not that they got power and became evil. It's that the power gave them the ability to do the evil they'd always wanted to.
Damn pigs.
Because that's what it's all about, creating a debate. That's why that's what I do as in my job as an actor, storyteller, filmmaker. Any act of creating art for me is about saying to the audience or the viewer, think about this differently. And if you don't agree with me, that's not a problem, but think about it differently.
It's like, even if you I want you to think differently, and even if you disagree, that's fine, but you should still change your mind.
Yeah, think about it differently.
It's guaranteed that you'll definitely change your mind either way.
Are you thinking about things differently, Andy Serkis? Or changing things.
But he's giving himself permission to hijack everyone else's stories.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't
trying
you
to
go
create
tell
debate.
your own story? Go write a story.
Yeah, go write your own thing.
Has all of the elements that you want in it, and then tell that story. Why would you go and take Animal Farm and then subvert it and then say, think about this Animal Farm differently?
This is why I think actually the marketing is really subversive, because it doesn't make sense to market this to essentially right-wing Christian audiences, and their children specifically are mentioned in many of the reviews, unless your entire aim is to make them change their minds. Like, it makes sense that you wouldn't market an anti-capitalist movie to leftists who already agree with you, but if you can find the target demographic that disagrees with you and your intention is to change people's minds, then that is the correct market that you'd be aiming for.
He openly said he's enacted not to entertain, but to get people to, think about something differently. That's him saying propaganda. I'm making something specifically to spread propaganda.
Well, the problem here is too, like, he's using the wrong thing, because Orwell's Animal Farm is not about starting a debate. It is a specific rebuke of Soviet socialism. It's not a debate. He's saying, this is bad. Look how bad it is. I'm holding it up to you. It's fucking bad.
Well, and the reason why it was made is because Orwell thought, I could write like a journalistic piece to educate people on this, but I think that a novel will be more effective. And so that's why he chose that medium. It was literally supposed to educate people rather than, like, he'd already assumed he was correct, because like people say, he did hate both sides.
That's what stories can do, and that's why they're effective and dangerous. And ultimately, if this had just randomly come out, we might have made fun of it or whatever, and I don't think it would be that big of a deal, because it would kind of be like the norm. The reason it's a big deal is because it's Angel Studio, which, by the way, made a phenomenal movie in Sound of Freedom that brought to light a lot of disgusting shit. A lot of people went out and saw that and were sickened by what they saw or inspired by the heroism of what they saw, whatever, right? But it's Angel Studios combined with influencers that a lot of people feel like are trustworthy or being genuine, who are then saying something complete opposite that either indicates that they don't care what they're promoting or didn't even bother to watch it and are just doing it for a check. Like that's why the story is hitting like this.
It deepens the betrayal, because these people built themselves a reputation of being on our side. Now we have to reevaluate all of that. Were they ever on our side, or was this ever just a grift? Like, this would be the clearest example of an actual grift.
It has been one of the theories about this that, and we'll never know now, and this is one of the issues with damaging your reputation, is did you use one side in order to get money and reputation, and the moment you thought you hit a suitable size, try to sidle up to Hollywood and become essentially what you're trying to be, like, opposite to?
I think there's a huge part of that, and I don't know if so much of it is about specifically like this decision to, hey guys, now we're going to betray these principles, and now we're going to get, in all likelihood, my guess, and Gary, I think you've had more interaction with Angel Studios specifically than I have, but my guess is that they saw this and the list of cast members that were working on this movie. Angel Studios didn't make the movie. They just did a distribution deal for the movie to put it out in theaters. And I think they saw the cast and they were like, hey, there's a lot of big time actors in there that could give us some validity that maybe more people would come and work with us. And I don't know if they expected this type of shit, or even maybe they didn't even fucking really know how badly they had fucked up before they started getting this. I don't know.
I don't know if they even watched the movie.
I think all that would have been a lot less damaging if they hadn't paid a load of ostensibly right-wing people to advertise
who don't normally talk about movies,
who don't normally talk about movies, and who essentially lied about what the movie is. It is that marketing campaign that made it seem far more subversive than actually just releasing the movie. If Angel Studios had gone out and been like, "Look, we're just a distributor. We're going to distribute everything as standard, but we're going to focus on Christian stuff," that would have been
This is a massive mistake. This is a massive mistake. Unforced error. Shouldn't have done it. Even if they are looking for validity with Andy Serkis, Seth Rogen's name is involved. They have to know that name is poison with a lot of people.
A lot of their customers.
Yeah, a lot of their customers. And listen, I wasn't offered anything, any payment or anything like that at all. I was invited to the red carpet. I couldn't make it, so I said no. I'll watch that
one.
Where was it?
New York.
That's not the best signing.
You can pay me to go to New York City.
Actually, this clip shows that the movie they're distributing hates them, and the people making the movie hates them.
Yeah, and it just seems it's antithetical to everything that they were doing, right? Which was to be an independent studio and to be outside of Hollywood. When we went to the sketch premiere, I went with Drinker. People were even asking them, like, why are you doing it in LA? And their philosophy was, and I kind of get it, was we want to do this in the belly of the beast, right? We want to show that we're a player. And I'm like, okay, I get that. That's fine. But taking it this far and then going after fans and clowning on people for like when people do eventually see this, everything I've heard, Real Fake Wizard seen it. So is it contradictory to the book?
Yeah, it's absolutely contradictory to the
book.
In the worst way, because the book is it's a pretty intense book. It's very serious, and it's you could say it's for kids, but it's got a lot of dark themes in there. They race through the big moments of the book within the first 20 minutes, and then we go to the shopping mall. After the animals have accepted capitalism, we go to the shopping mall, and from there it turns into a slapstick. We're going to make TikTok jokes. We're going to dress like we're TikTok influencers. Jeremy Johns put it perfectly by calling it like TikTok influencer clothes. And then we go on the anti-capitalism story, an anti-cronyism story, and then it snaps to, we get the final shot of what would be the book, and then we get an act 3, and as Disbrew said, it's another uprising. But what's kind of crazy about this is the Angel Studios and the leadership they're putting the blame on this on the guild, the guild members who apparently voted to buy this movie, to acquire this movie. And so there's an email that I have here. I'll pull it up if we need to, but I don't think we do. But this is an email. So a paying subscriber reached out to Angel Studios customer support and said, "Why did you guys buy this?" And the response here says, "This movie came to us as an already completed film. Guild members had the opportunity to view and vote on the movie in its entirety. Our Angel Guild approves stories that are, quote, true, honest, noble, just, authentic, lovely, admirable, and excellent. Animal Farm passed because they felt the movie fits that description." And you can learn more here about the guild. And so this is what they're telling the people that are paying for the subscriptions. But if I may, I think it goes even a little deeper than that. I saw the movie yesterday. I was pretty concerned because I went to an early showing on a Thursday. This looks pretty packed. This is the showing that I attended. I screenshot this because I had a funny feeling that, like, okay, Animal Farm, maybe it's a hit. Maybe everybody's going to see it. Here is the actual theater. There was no one there. So, if you're an Angel Studios member, you're giving them money. They're buying tickets in theaters that no one is in. Like that is, and so if we continue down, guess what? Here's the next showing, filled with almost the same seats. Next showing, almost the same seats in the same theater.
And that's something that they do too, right? Because they have a whole pay it forward thing where you can buy tickets for people to claim for free. So what this means is that no one is claiming these free tickets.
Right. We've seen this with Disney movies too.
So I'm really glad you point that out. So I am currently I have 2 accounts that are currently sitting in the queue to get free tickets myself. Both I submitted with 2 separate accounts to claim these tickets. The email I got back is, "You're in the waiting list," and it gave me a number, and the number is 1,127 for both accounts. One was yesterday and another was this afternoon. I cannot get through to get these free tickets. What is the deal?
Oh boy.
I don't know.
Wow.
Well, I'm
Angel
concerned.
exposed. Man.
This is actually a fairly common socialist trick as well that they use in political gatherings. I mean, socialist trick literally. When they do political gatherings, they give people option to buy solidarity tickets for the underprivileged who can't get it there otherwise. And this is 98% of the time merely a way to go like, hey, you'll be a really good person if you pay twice. And we'll give this to an underprivileged person. It is a complete scam.
Wow.
Equally. There is no supposed to anymore, okay? We're free. For example, I'm about to fart right now.
Oh.
Wow. This is the sound of freedom.
Oh, whoa.
Yup.
Sound of freedom.
Oh no.
And the tweet to this is the sound and smell of freedom. And in the sound of freedom, it uses the same line and everything. It's delivered the same way. And if you remember Sound of Freedom at the time, Hollywood hated it. There were loads of things about how it was sort of like right-wing conspiracies and stuff. And so
Just
you
that
distribute
face.
it and they put this in.
How are they okay with this?
It's just like Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So gross.
Disgusting.
Because this is the rug pull. This is they're revealing who they really were all the time. If they want to play ball and they want to be taken seriously in Hollywood, this is they have to humiliation. It's a humiliation ritual. They have to humiliate themselves into initiation. And they're also publicly traded now, so it's a publicly traded company. This isn't the same small company that it's like, hey, please buy a ticket for us. At the end of the movie, there's QR codes that come up. It asks you to buy tickets for more people. It asks you. It actually shows. Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie?
Yeah,
both of those take you to a checkout page.
I think they could have pleaded ignorance and been like, well, no, Animal Farm, it looked like it was for us. We didn't know the product we were going to get. We agreed to distribute it before we saw the final movie. It's our mistake. I think they could have got away with all of that until this, where you come out and now you start attacking people that are calling you out.
Yep.
Oh, Animal Farm. No one wants us to be together.
They haven't even seen me. They're judging a movie by its trailer, which is what trailers are for. But still.
At Chloe Rice 8272 said, Seth Rogen is probably the last person to come to mind to voice a character who's literally meant to resemble Stalin.
Resemble Stalin as a pig?
Seth Rogen is a perfect pig Stalin.
People are saying I should have been rated R, full of blood, darkness, and despair. At Huff UI TV said, making Animal Farm kid-friendly is dystopian.
It's a story about talking farm animals. It's read by kids in middle school.
George Orwell made it that way. It's not like we're doing Schindler's List with farm animals.
No, you are doing Schindler's List with farm animals. That is literally the book. I mean, the way they okay, my grandmother bought me this book as I was a child, having no idea what it was, and it fucking traumatized me when they worked the horse to death and then sent me to glue factory.
It's supposed to
haunts me as an adult still, yeah.
Watership Down, anyone?
Watership Down.
I was going to say Watership Down, yeah.
Nah, this book sticks with me.
And then at Dustin Maddox 9445 said, it is wild that Angel Studios would put out a pro-communism movie that was adapted from an anti-communism.
What are they doing?
I hate communism.
Me too. And at Generically Entertaining said,
they can't just go past that because you can't just go, well, I hate communism. It's like, yeah, but the movie is like pro-communism, like it ends with the communist revolution is the point.
We didn't try it right.
This reminds me a little bit of the Onion taking over InfoWars, doesn't it? A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Where you're like, oh, I thought this was going to be one thing.
And at Generically Entertaining said, they don't even need that windmill anymore. Just hook up a generator to George Orwell's grave and he'd power the whole farm. Because he's rolling over.
I get it. It's really funny.
It's not true.
But it is really funny.
It's really funny.
So Angel fans hate me?
No, most don't. You passed the guild. It's a loud minority trying to silence us.
Oh, boy.
Fuck off.
Like the pigs. They call everyone that doesn't like the movie pigs. And the pigs in the book are the just pure evil. They're the ones that prefer language, they're the ones that engage in all the communism tactics. They are calling you the villains in the movie.
Wow, dude.
I just want families, including kids, to understand why communism is bad. that? Is that so wrong?
They'll never let us be together.
Because of Seth Rogen.
Because of Seth.
No.
So I guess we just won't release you to the world.
I'll disappear. Like Boxer.
I love you, Animal Farm.
I love you, Angel. Goodbye.
Which would be okay if you gave us a reason to connect emotionally with Boxer, but the movie doesn't do that. The movie doesn't give you the chance to actually care about anyone. It's just rolling. It's a bad movie on its own. Talk about like the actual substance of it. The movie is bad. But here, if you want to share my screen here, this is what you get when you scan the "I didn't like it" QR code.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Your opinion is wrong.
You get called a
Your
pig
opinion
immediately.
is wrong, and if I scroll down, yeah, we heard you, and you're wrong. But wait, just wait, just wait. Give us money. The I'm correct correction payment portal. Yes, $75. This is real. This is a real checkout. If you didn't like this movie.
That's so bizarre.
So they're trying to lean into the joke by calling the fans a loud minority when you bought a movie that Hollywood didn't want, by the way. That's why you got it, Angel Studios. Hollywood, this wasn't good enough for Hollywood. And does Andy Serkis hate communism?
No.
Don't think so.
He was a member of the Socialist Party in the 90s.
Oh, my God.
This shit is wild. I had not seen this.
Crazy.
Yeah. Was
Yeah.
that video actually made by Angel Studios and released?
It's on the official Animal Farm Twitter account.
Yes, it is.
And it's got Angel Studios' name all over it. And this is the thing, right? If they want to claim we're just distributing, we don't have anything to do with the marketing, get your name off the marketing. Because the moment your logo goes on it, you are signing it. Like you are just as attached to it as anything else.
Too late now. This you can't make the soup on this one.
That is
and a bunch of influencers went out and did a bunch of ads without seeing the movie.
Oh no!
Fucking embarrassing.
Riley Gaines said I had early access to the movie, and it's like, yeah, but did you actually watch it though, or did you just tell us you had early access to it?
Then she didn't stick to the ending. She did see it. She didn't stay to the end.
Wow! Holy shit!
This is baffling.
Well, chills on both sides, baby.
Yeah.
Ironically, though, all of this does actually just reflect the book. It is like people, like, yeah, we'll say everyone is equal, but actually, people will do whatever they can to get more than everyone else, and so equality never works because it's not true.
It doesn't really shock me that political talking heads would push this out without watching it. The same people that give really bad takes on entertainment and stuff like it doesn't shock me. My guess is most of them probably did without ever watching it. It just was like another ad read for them. But it's like you gotta. I can't. I didn't know Tucker had fucking done it either. Like that's
he did it on multiple streams. He did multiple ad reads for them, and his one is bad because he tells you to take your kids to it, and he essentially recommends the book. Most of his ad read is what the book is about, not the movie. So he clearly didn't watch it either, or no one from his team.
No, it's pretty apparent.
And I do think it's pretty damning that Angel Studios agreed to do a debate with Tim Pool and then backed out because they had no one that was available to do it. Now, that's probably the best decision because I think they're about to be humiliated. With Andy Serkis' comments, they don't really have a leg to stand on in that regard.
There also has to be the no disparagement clauses. I mean, Angel Studios, even if the guys like let's say they knew, oh my gosh, we bought something we shouldn't have bought. They can't say anything bad about it. They can't besmirch Andy Serkis.
Correct.
We can talk about how bad this movie is and how this was a bad mistake. They almost have to make something to get some kind of buzz to convince somebody to be willing to go, like to see the film. But they can't say anything bad about it. They're liable.
I think that's what happened. I think they bought it off of name alone. They thought, oh, this is anti-communist, so it's going to go to our base pretty well. And then they actually watched it, and they're stuck with it. And they have to sell it, and they can't say anything bad about it. Because like the I didn't like it, and then it takes you to some like snarky thing about, oh, you were all wrong and all that stuff. I could totally see that being a joke on if it was actually a good Animal Farm technique. And people that were left and said, I didn't like it, then they're making fun of them. So I could totally see that is their angle. But they didn't watch the movie, and that's not what the movie said.
In that case, though, Angel Studios should have watched the movie and formed a marketing campaign about what the movie was, because even the professional critics a lot of them would have agreed with the communist perspective, all the quality and everything else, and they interpreted Orwell's novel as different. So a lot of them say the problem is about power and authority rather than specifically communism or subversion or virtue signaling. So there are different ways that you can read that book, which are technically correct but entirely miss the point. Whereas in the USA Today, which is where the earlier video came from, it specifically says, instead, Andy Serkis gravitated towards the themes of capitalism, wealth, and overconsumption. So none of these are about communism. And so Angel Studios trying to double down on what the book was about and pretend it's an accurate adaptation hurts them even more, because now it comes across you're lying. When you realize you were mistaken, you should have gone more towards, well, we just don't like power. We think authoritarianism is bad. We think censorship is bad. But
this is nuts. I'm just going over it now on Twitter. Just 26%. So everybody hates it. And this is why Angel Studios, this movie was dumped on Angel Studios. By the way, again, director of The Hunt for Gollum.
Yep.
Andy Serkis, who directed Venom Last Dance. No.
It was the second one.
No, Carnage. Venom
Carnage. Yeah, he did Carnage. So, it's not looking good. This is so dumb. It's such an unforced error. But that video, basically calling the people who don't like this pigs, not a good plan. Not a good plan. You are going to face a lot of repercussions for this. Just wait how this affects you a couple years from now for a movie that's not going to make you any money at all. Like, why did you do this? It's unbelievable. How many times have we seen this? How many times will we see it again in the future? The rug pull.
Yeah.
Tim said he invited them on the show to talk about it, and they wouldn't go on. Christ.
Yeah, I think even Andy Serkis was supposed to be involved and backed out as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Has he been doing press for this?
No, but I think that was a part of the arrangement with Tim. But I could be wrong on that, but I'm relatively certain that he said that.
No, Angel Studios told him that people would be meeting him, and it was implied that someone from the studio, from the creation might be, which was also implied it might be Andy Serkis, but he wasn't sure specifically.
It just seems like they're doing this because they can, in a sense, because the left still has such a stranglehold on media. Like, still, even as it's the sinking ship that it is, it seems like the right has still not been able to really come up with much to compete with.
Well, that's the unfortunate thing, because Angel Studios was producing some stuff that was getting traction, like people that were getting attention.
Yeah, it did some stuff that was okay. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but didn't need to be, because they're an up and coming studio with they have a lot of financial backing. Okay. And now they're publicly traded. And this is probably why they made the change. Didn't Black Rifle Coffee make the change right around the time they were publicly traded? Isn't the same thing, and it's a grift. What Art said, it's a fucking grift. That you can't look at it any other way right now. And it might be hard to hear. They offered me, I should have taken it. They offered me a screener. I said, no, I'll watch it whenever, because I wasn't super interested in seeing it, to be honest with you. But they told me I could rip it apart if I wanted to, which I would do anyway if I didn't like it. But I wasn't offered to pay. Should I be insulted a little bit about that?
A little offended.
Makes you wonder when everyone else was offered. Like, did you get it a long time in the past, and this is more like a reaction to the backlash which happened when everyone found out what it was after the critics' reviews?
That's a good point.
Yeah. So if you were offered, because the professional the corporate critics came out about a week ago. So if you had that offer beforehand, everyone saw the disaster on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics came out with what it was. There was backlash about that, and that it was being subverted. Then
so they started paying people. They started throwing out the cheddar. Yes. Boy, they fucked up on this one.
Yeah, they did. They just single-handedly destroyed their reputation.
You only get one chance of this stuff, and rebuilding it is, people are going to trust you. When the customer feels like they were lied to, it's done. You're done. Yeah. You're done. There has to be some trust involved in there, unless you're a James Gunn fan.
And I mean, they've been chasing it since Sound of Freedom. Like, they've been trying to find something even somewhat comparable. Obviously, they haven't found anything even close to it, but they were off to even a good start this year. Like, end of last year, David came out, lots of positive praise, made a little bit of money. This year, Solo Mio came out with Kevin James. That one got some good reviews, again, for a budget of it. And obviously they're more of a, distributor, but they made some money off of that too. This, I don't know how they recover.
I think there is some logic to, we are attached to something with Andy Serkis's name, Seth Rogen's name, and it feels like maybe they worked it out in their head in some form of a rationalization. It's like, see, we can work with these people and still do the thing we want to do. The problem is when you come out with a fucking video going after the fans, that's when you lose.
It is that video specifically, which is the okay, you've lost everything.
Bridge too far.
I ended my last video with at least they didn't do this. So just I literally said at least they didn't attack the fans.
You get a sequel.
That video, by the way, came out 1 hour after I published my video.
I
hate when that happens. I said at least they haven't done it. Investigate who signed this off. Investigate your procedures and don't do it again. And then release that.
You just get another video out of this, Disparate.
Oh, well, I'm including that.
And it'll do better. I promise you it'll do better once the word got out. So who has released tweets and deleted them? Redheaded Libertarian.
Oh, no.
Redheaded Libertarian, Wall Street Mav, both deleted theirs. I don't think Redheaded Libertarian had seen it specifically. She seems to be like a long-term partner with them who was just like recommending the movie because she recommends the other stuff. Wall Street Mav specifically said this is the movie woke Hollywood couldn't create. It's anti-capitalist. It shows that communism will always fail and all that kind of stuff.
Woke Hollywood could create a lot of shit and fool you.
Got Seth Rogen in it.
You don't think Seth Rogen is laughing his ass off right now? He's got his money. He's got his fucking money, and Angel has been just fucking owned and biffed. He's laughing his ass off right now.
And he got paid.
Between Angel Studios getting fucking wrapped up in this and so many fucking like big right wing whatever influencers, it's just, bruh, it's just a massive fucking black pill. This is the reality, right? A lot of your favorite fucking follows or whatever. People joke about $7,000 per post, like, in Israel, whatever. It goes everywhere on every fucking side for so many different things. But right after the assassination attempt, and Trump made the post about this, why we need my ballroom and everything, and immediately you see within fucking 3 minutes 200 different like influencers tweeting exactly the same fucking verbiage about the ballroom. Like it's just everything on every side.
Yeah,
regardless of which one you're on. Is fucking fake.
Was it Jack Posobiec, one of those?
Probably.
Yeah, he was. So it's you said it earlier, comics, and Tim said it too. It's all fake and gay, right? And it's disappointing as hell, but especially from Angel. And again, I've sat down and talked to them, and they sounded like they were like on the right path, because they were going to be user driven. That guild. Was pretty much what drives everything, but the guild doesn't get to see the movie first, right? So they're just presented, hey, we're going to do Animal Farm, and they're like, oh fuck, we hate commies, yeah, let's go, and they're going to vote for it. So you can't, and you throw them under the bus. You throw the guild under the fucking bus on this one. I just thought of that, and you guys probably brought it up earlier, but holy shit! And then you just called your audience pigs.
Well, and the pigs are evil in the book.
Evil.
They are pure evil. It is way more than just calling them an animal when in reference to this.
Here's a life lesson for any person or corporation. You do not get to choose your legacy. Life will choose it for you. And now you will no longer be known as Sound of Freedom. You'll be known as Animal Farm. The people who made an anti-capitalist Animal Farm, that's what you're going to be known for now.
And they're not going to lose the money right away. Because of how just like the whole model is set up, right? With the people, like with the memberships and everything. So they already have like the money there. So it's already from them. And so any money they do make is going to be mostly profit because of how that stuff works. What is interesting is that Motley Fool just had an article out earlier saying why Angel Studios stock flew higher today. Apparently it's up 20%. So
listen,
stock price has nothing to do with
shareholders.
Saying like that's what they're
shareholders are some of the most low information motherfuckers on the planet because most people run their own portfolios.
Long term,
and it's all based on fucking optics and perception and not reality.
And it's not even perception of the company; it's the perception of what everyone else will perceive about the company. So you're just guessing on essentially
and
mask.
And maybe they sold their soul to the devil, Odin. To get that, maybe they knew, like, if we do this movie, it's gonna make our stock price go up. Sure, we'll piss off our core customers, but fuck them.
But
how many times have we seen that before? So
one of the themes of the books is essentially the power of like repeated chants to give an ideology power to convince people of things. And Tim Pool posted, and it's on the Angel account and the Animal Farmer Cautionary Tale account, which is where that video came from. So it does imply that there's communication between the two, and the marketing that goes across the two is exactly the same. When you're doing exactly the same message. The anti-capitalist themes of Orwell wove into the book are very much present. It's a faithful take on his critique of corruption and power. We encourage everyone to see the movie. And if you scroll down in the picture, there's Angel. So I don't see how Angel can separate themselves from the videos on that Twitter account when it looks like the same person is doing the marketing for both.
Yeah.
This is not good.
And
not good.
Hollywood and Seth Rogen's of the world are laughing their fucking asses off.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.